Nowadays, it's like every parent is confused about their child's future. Which course to be selected, which college to be selected. A total confusion. Every student after the 12th grade has been taken to all this psychometric tests, then one-to-one sessions, counselings and whatnot. But don't you think that a real understanding about the current market scenario, the courses, the opportunities, the syllabus of courses, isn't that particular thing which has to be explained in detail to every student and parent? See, a student who completes the 12th will only come out of the graduation after 3, 4 or 5 years. Okay? So at that time, what would be the market scenario? What would be the trending courses at that point of time? That can only be analyzed by specialized people who are trained in all these things. And that is where a career planning session plays an important role. In the next 3-hour session, I'm going to take you through the various courses that you can apply after your 12th grade. The career opportunities that awaits you after completing these courses will also be discussed in this 3-hour session. After completing your 12th grade, you have different types of degrees in front of you. Starting from a general degree to a professional degree, an integrated degree, a dual degree, an honors degree. So what are the differences between all these degree programs? Earlier, when the mobile phones first came into being, it was so big. Hope you remember those big mobile phones. It was just like a brick, right? And just think of the television sets that we had in our childhood. It was so big, but now the mobile phones, the televisions are so sleek. It is so thin, so cute, so beautiful. How did it become so thin, cute and sleek? There was an application of the technology, and that technology is called nanotechnology. Not just in the case of an electronic equipment like a mobile phone or a television, but in each and every field, from an aircraft to a medical equipment, you can apply this technology which is called nanotechnology. Now, when you complete nanotechnology, you have two main career options in front of you. One is, you can either get onto your research and become a scientist. Another thing, you can become a teacher, get into academics. But for both these things, you should at least complete your PG, your post-graduation. Why? Because you can't teach nanotechnology to a kindergarten child, right? It has to be taught to a PG student. So to teach a PG student, obviously, you should be equipped for that. So, if you're in your 12th grade right now, and if you don't have at least 5 to 7 years in front of you, then these courses are not your cup of tea. If you take pharmaceutical studies, you have everything from a 4-year B.Pharm to a PharmD course, which is an integrated course for 6 years. But what is the difference between a B.Pharm and a PharmD? Who should go for B.Pharm? Who should go for PharmD? Many of the people say that PharmD has got immense opportunities outside India or in Western countries or in Middle East. But what is the real story behind it? If you want to become a doctor, you have everything from an MBBS to homeopathy, Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani, you have dental, you have veterinary. But who should go for what? Theodoric technology, geology, archaeological science. Then, obviously, some students would say, I don't like science at all. I love numbers. I want to get into something where I can play with numbers. You have something which is called actuarial science. It is a new stream, but a happening stream. By the way, who's an actuary? Yes, we all know who an actuary is. But when we explain who an actuary is, then only we'll think, oh my god, this person is called actuary or what? Who should go for a general course? Take for example your mechanical engineering. Most of the boys, they'll just say that I love vehicles, so I want to become a mechanical engineer. Is that the way you should think? Do you think so? Does it mean that when you go for a mechanical engineering course, the whole 4 years, you are given some sort of a vehicle and asked to study something on that? Don't you think that the child has to understand that in an engineering course, you have physics, chemistry and mathematics? Even if you take computer engineering or mechanical engineering or aeronautical engineering, you have your physics, chemistry and math. If you really don't like the subjects, then we all used to say that like do your BCom, then do your MCom, you can get into banking. But the new generation banks, they have like different career options there, different posts, different ways in which you can climb up the career ladder, various types of designing courses. Most of the kids just speak only about fashion designing, and some of them would say like interior design. Yes, but there are different designing courses. You have something called footwear designing. You have furniture designing courses. So anything and everything, if you can lead a company, if you can lead people, if you are a go-getter, then obviously you have something which is called civil service, which can be tried by any graduate. Any graduation is the basic eligibility for attempting Indian civil service. You have your prelims exam, because like there are 3 different steps to get into Indian civil service. Whether you want to become an IAS or IPS or IFS or whatever that is, you have to crack one exam, which is Indian civil service, and there are 3 different steps to get into the final stage. The first one is called a prelims exam, preliminary. And prelims, you have like 4 hours ka exam, 200 marks each, like 2 different papers. One is general knowledge and another is called an aptitude. And prelims paper 1, you should know what the syllabus is. Before getting on to cricket, obviously you need to know how the pitch is, right? So like that, before getting into any exam, you should know how the exam is, how the questions would be. Then only you would be able to know like how I should prepare myself for that exam. So with this, you should be able to tell your child, yes, Baba, this is the exam and this is how you should be preparing if you want to crack this exam. Now, this is all about the main exam of civil service, polytechnics, ITIs. Yes, there are a lot of options, not just confined to science or engineering, like medicine or engineering. You have like different options right in front of you, and then you have various entrance exams that you can write after your 12th grade, which will really help you to get onto the top-notch colleges of India. Starting from the IITs, you have different renowned institutes in India, and some of the institutes, let me tell you, you even get a scholarship for studying there. You go there and study, you don't pay the fee, they give you a scholarship. Indian Navy, Indian Air Force. To get into all these things, you have an exam right after your 12th, which is called NDA, National Defense Academy. You have like different scholarships which are being given to the students for studying in Western countries. At the end of the day, after paying so much of your hard-earned money, you should not feel that I have made my child join a course or join a college which is not worthy. So, before making him join, you have to think of all these things. But all these things put together, I think now you have an idea about the various courses, because I talked about almost everything. Now it's your turn. Think. Use your brains about the various things that are happening around you, about the current scenario. Think, discuss, and then finalize. Let me tell you one thing. If at all you have any doubts on any of these courses, any of these entrance exams, anything as such, feel free to get in touch with me. 24/7 telephonic support and that support. We are there.